Go.
Hi everybody, happy Tuesday, and it's a beautiful day out there today. I felt like a weather reporter there. It's lovely out there. The sun's like proper warm. You can feel warmth in the sun as you're out there, which is nice. The wind's still a little bit up, but it was nice to feel the sun on my face as I walked back over from the shop, all 56 steps. So hopefully you're all okay. We're going to do a little bit of crochet today, nice little bit of gentle crochet, and I'm going to show you two different stitches. We've got a bead stitch and a bobble stitch, so we're going to do that in a moment. Thank you to everybody who's already sent in their entries for the virtual competition. I know there's lots of you that watch that haven't sent anything in yet, so you've got till the end of today, okay? So you've got to sort of midnight tonight to get those in, okay? I think it's midnight. Sean will tell me off if it's the wrong time. I'm sure she'll tell me if she's watching. But you've got till the end of today to get some photos in, so please do enter. You know, even if you're a newbie or you're not sure, it'd be really lovely to see what you've been making, okay? So if you haven't sent us a picture yet, you can email or Facebook Messenger us an email, and then we can get them in an album, and people can start voting, which would be lovely. And I think everybody likes seeing what everyone else does. It gives everybody a bit of inspiration and all, doesn't it? So please do get those in, and also please do get in any questions you'll have for us as well for that day, just to give us a chance to sort of do some little demos and all for you, and answer any burning questions you might have for us. But remember, they can be about anything. They don't have to be, about quilting as such. They could be about the shop or white gecko in general. Okay, so get those questions into us as well. What else was I going to tell you today? Sarah's busy putting a lot of stuff into the job lots. We've got lots of bolt ends, things like there's 1 metre left on stuff, or 1.5 meters, so they're all going into the job lots section. So at like reduced prices. So there's some Liberty gone in there. There's all sorts. So have a little check out of that. Your discount code on your newsletter for the website is still going. So if you are going to order, it's worth doing it with that discount code. Okay. So check that out as well. I think that's everything. I haven't really got much news. How are you all? Who's there? Al's with me today. Alex is filming because Josh is out walking the naughty puppy. He's not a puppy, he's like a year old now, but we've got Scout, my sister's dog, today, so he's out walking the dogs, our dog and Scout, and to keep him out of the way, because he's destroyed the front room so far. He's got into my waste bin, there's fabric bits everywhere. So who's there, Al?
We got hi's from Carolyn, Karen, Wendy, Heather.
Hi Carolyn, hi Karen, hi Wendy,
Grace,
Heather,
Sheila,
Grace.
Other people.
Hi everybody. Lovely you've all joined me. And we're going to have a nice gentle little bit of crochet today, which I always find this quite relaxing. It's always kind of like chill time, isn't it, crochet? Well, it is for me anyway. So in a moment I'm going to ask Elle to come round and stand behind me so you can see it, because that worked I think quite well last time when Josh did that, didn't it? And it meant that you can see more what I'm doing rather than me trying to hold it to camera. You're sort of like, over my shoulder, which would be better. But first of all, I'm going to show you the two stitches. So I've made up these two little samples, so I don't know if Al can come down onto these. This is the bead stitch. These are quite sort of bobbly textured stitches. This is a bead stitch, which is one of the ones we're going to have a look at today. And it's quite a lacy stitch, but you've got these really sort of, looks like a bead. Beads on an abacus, isn't it? That's probably where it got its name from. It's like beads on an abacus. But again, it gives a really nice, quite very fluid. It would make a beautiful scarf, I think. Really nice. Mind you, we're going into spring now, but start now. It'll be ready for the autumn. But nice fluid. It's got a real fluidity to it, because you've got this slightly sort of lacy texture to it, but it's chunky and warm. Okay, and the other one we're going to do is a bobble stitch, which is this really, like, sometimes called a puff stitch, sometimes called a popcorn stitch. They've all slight different variations, but they all give this same sort of very, very thick look. And I think this would make amazing cushions. It looked like really, really textured, beautifully warm, soft cushion covers. I think it'd be really pretty. I've just done them in cream, as you can see, just for little sample pieces. I think we've touched on bobble stitches before. When I was doing it, I'm thinking, I'm sure we've done this before. And I think we did them when we did graphograms, which is something that we can re-look at actually. But it's again, it gives a really, really thick, warm texture. Looks like somebody would draw a sheep, isn't it? Like a child would draw a sheep with all little bubbles over it. So, but we're going to start with this bead one. So I'm going to ask Al to come round behind me. We're going to start with this one. You know, you need to bring the gimbal with you. It's all right, you walked around without the gimbal. Oh, that was sneaky. Right, okay, so if you kind of come right behind me, lovely, like that. Hopefully everyone will be able to see my hands easier then, okay? So we're going to start with this bead stitch, okay? This one, which is, yeah, more I think about it, it's an abacus, isn't it? Looks like an abacus, but I do like this one. It was quite nice and easy. Now, I've got my notes because I don't remember all of these stitches off the top of my head. I like a little bit of a pattern, but I found both of these on Bella Coco YouTube tutorials. Like I said, I've done this one lots before because I've done quite a lot of the Bobble Stitch. I've done this a lot in different projects, but this was a new one to me. So I'm just going to go through this one first. So bead stitch, you need an even number. Okay, so it's worked over an even number of stitches. So I'm just going to do my slip stitch to start, and then I'm going to do an even number of chains. So we're going to wrap, pull through, wrap, pull through, and just make my chains, okay? Make them nice and loose to start with, because otherwise it can be quite tight at the beginning. So I'm just going to do an even number. So I'm going to do 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, actually, let's just do a couple more. Let's just do 14, just so I've got enough, just as a little sample. 13, 14, okay? Like that. So I've got a little even chain, a chain of an even number, okay? Right, we're going to start by just doing a simple foundation row of double crochets. So I'm not going to go into the first stitch here, which is this one here. I'm going to go into the second stitch down, so this one here. I'm going to insert my hook straight in, wrap my yarn and pull up. So I've got 2 on my hook, wrap through 2, and that's my double crochet. So we're going to do that into each stitch all the way along. Oh, let's see, I've got a little piece of thread in there. Okay, so into the next stitch, in, wrap, pull up, wrap through 2. And I'm going to just work my way along the chain like that and do a row of double crochets. So, Al, any questions there? Anybody saying hello? Anybody having a chat? What's going on?
Jackie said, I made a baby pram blanket with the bobble.
Ah, nice. Oh, I bet that looked lovely. But it was really cosy and comfy. Yeah, I like a bobble stitch. It's very, very textured, but it is really nice. Okay, so I'm just doing double crochets all the way along with the bead. Anything else there?
Not much from hellos.
No, just hellos. Well, I hope you've all got a bit of sunshine by where you are. It's lovely here today. It's really nice. Okay, so I've got a double crochet all the way along. Okay, so I've got my little foundation row like that. Right, so I'm then going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then turn my work. Okay, like that. So I'm working on this side. I'm not going to work into that little double crochet there right in the base. I'm going to work into the next one along. Okay, so I'm going to work into my second double crochet, and I'm going to put a treble in there. So I'm going to wrap first, insert my hook and pull up. So I've got 3 in my hook, wrap through 2, wrap through 2. So I've got a treble. So there's my chain there and then a treble. Okay, and then this is where the bead stitch comes in. Okay, so right, hang on, let me just wrap off some wool. There we go. I'm going to wrap, you're basically going to do like almost like a treble, but round this. So we're going to wrap the wool first. I'm going to insert into this hole, round the post like that, and pull up 3. Okay, so I'm going to do that again for you. So wrap into this is the post of the stitch here. So I'm going to insert the hook behind it and pull up. So I've got 3 on my hook. I'm going to leave those 3 on my hook. I'm going to wrap again, in behind that post and pull up. So I've now got 5 on my hook. Wrap again, behind the post and pull up. So I've now got 7 loops on my hook. Okay, can you see that? Hopefully you can see that, guys. I've got 7 on there. I'm going to wrap and I'm going to pull through 6 of them. I'm not going to pull through this very last one here. Okay, so I'm going to wrap and pull through 6. So dip your hook downwards so that it's not catching and wiggle your way through. Ooh. It might mean that you have to go through a couple and then wiggle your way through the next few. That's absolutely fine. So I've gone through all 6 and I've got 2 left on my hook. And then I'm going to wrap once again and go through those 2 like that. And that's my bead stitch done there. Okay, we're going to do that a couple more times, all right, so that you can see. I'm going to skip this next double crochet here. Ooh, see, I've got fluff everywhere. Skip that next double crochet and I'm going to put a treble into the next one along. So wrap, in, pull up, through 2, through 2. So there's my treble. And then we're going to work that bead stitch again. So wrap behind that post and pull up. You're right there, Al. Wrap behind that post and pull up. There's 5 on my hook. Wrap behind the post and pull up. So I've got 7 on my hook. And then I'm going to wrap and pull through 6. So everything but the last one, like that. Wrap and through those 2. And there's my bead stitch again. So I'm going to do that a 3rd time. So I'm going to wrap, I'm going to miss that double crochet down there and into the second one along. And pull up and just do my standard treble like that. Okay, so there's my treble. And then you work the bead stitch. So I'm going to wrap behind the post, pull up. Wrap behind the post, pull up. Wrap behind the post, pull up. Okay, 7 on my hook. I'm going to wrap and pull through 6 of them like that. Got 2 left. Wrap and pull through. Okay, so we've got 3 bead stitches. I'm just going to get to the end of this. Okay, and Al's going to tell me any of your questions or comments. Anybody having a chat there, Al?
Jean says, looking forward to the Zoom class on Sunday to make Doyle the dragon.
Is it this Sunday? Oh wow, that's come round quickly. 4, 5. There we go, 6, 7. Gosh, where's March gone, eh? Yeah, I had in my head that it was going to be ages ago, but yeah, no, it's his, and it's Phil's birthday. It's my husband's birthday on Sunday. It's I don't know where this year is going. Sarah and I said yesterday, I can't believe it. We're like halfway through March already. It's just vanishing, isn't it? Absolutely vanishing. It's such a nice pattern, Doyle, as well. It's really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. And through those. Okay. Any other questions there, Han?
Andy says it's nice here after Barry for lunch.
Ah, nice, lunch. Lovely.
Lorraine says it's cloudy in Hampshire.
Oh, is it? Oh, we're very lucky. It's real proper blue sky here. It's warm, the sun. It's lovely. So I'm going to do that bead stitch again there. So anybody else there having a chat? Oh, just dropped it. Oops.
Karen says, like the speed that you talk one through. Excellent, teacher.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you. It's, there we go, and then through, and then that's that. You would just, you would make your initial chain however long you wanted this project to be, and you'd work your way along. And you can see here I've got one stitch left at the end, and all I'm going to do is just do a treble into that stitch. So wrap in like that, through 2, through 2 to finish off the row to give yourself a straight edge. And there's my first row of bead stitch done. Okay. It's basically a 2-row pattern repeat. So this time I'm going to chain 1 just to get a little bit of height and turn my work. And then this time, now I'm going to, if I turn it like this, hopefully Al can get in nice and close. Can you see all these little V's along the top? I'm just going to do a row of double crochet, into each one of these stitches all the way along. Okay, so I'm not going to work into that first one here because that little chain 1 is acting as that stitch. So I'm going to go into the second one along, and I'm just going to do a row of double crochet. So I'm going to in, pull up like that, into the next stitch, pull up like that, to the next stitch. There we go, and we're going to work our way all the way along. So who's sent in pictures already, or have you not done it yet? Who's going to join into the exhibition? It's into the competition. It'll be lovely. I really hope you all submit just one little thing that you might have made. Send us a picture and let everybody see what you've been making over the last year. Okay, so make sure you catch the end of that last one like that. There we go. And I've got a row of double crochets. So this time I do another row of bead stitches. So I chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and turn my work. And then we're going to repeat that row that we did there. So I'm going to skip that first stitch and work into my second stitch, and it's a treble. So do a standard treble like that, and then I'm going to work the bead stitch round that post. So again, wrap round the post, pull up, wrap round the post, pull up, wrap round the post, pull up like that. Pull through 6 of them like that, and then finish off the bead. Skip a stitch, and then we're going to do a treble in the next one, and it's just a repeat. It's a very repetitive pattern, but it gives a really nice effect. So I'm just going to work my way to the end of this row just so that you've really got it, and then we're going to move on to the bobble. Okay, so there's my 7 on the hook, and through like that, and away we go. So while I'm getting to the end of this row, anybody else there having a chat, Al?
Sheila asks, will you be putting this demo on YouTube?
It will go onto YouTube. Yep, it will go onto YouTube. Lovely. But you can rewatch them on Facebook as well. They're all under the videos section on Facebook as well. But because it might be a few days before it goes onto YouTube. But if you want to rewatch this later on, you can just find them on our Facebook page. Okay. There we go. I'll just pull off some yarn and then do that. That's 5, and there's my 7. Pull through the 6, so I've got 2, and finish like that. Nearly there at the end of the row, and then we're going to move on to the bobble stitch. Any other questions there? You're right, Alice, it's making your arms ache holding it.
Suzanne asks, I found it really hard to choose, well, not ask, but says, choose one item to enter into the 1 o'clock draw.
Oh yeah, but you chose a lovely one, Susie. I like that one. So yeah, it is hard to choose just one thing, isn't it? But I always think just go with that, just go with that one thing you think, yeah, I'm really happy with that. That made me smile. Okay, and I think that's a nice one to go with. And then we're just going to put a treble in the very end, like that, to finish off. Okay, and there we go. And you would just repeat that over and over. Okay, so I do a row of double crochets, row of bead stitch, row of double crochets, row of bead stitch, and you get, let me grab the other piece for you. You can see as it builds up, you get this really lovely pattern. I quite like that. I think it would make a stunning scarf. If you just kept going and going and going, it would make a really lovely, fluid, warm scarf. So that's the bead stitch. So we're going to move on to the bobble stitch now. So you're going to have to excuse me because I'm just going to take all this out because I don't want to have to open up another brand new ball of wool just for another little sample. So I'm going to reuse this one. So with a bobble stitch, it is done over odd numbers. Where the bead stitch was done over even, the bobble stitch we're going to do over odds. So I'm going to put my slip knot on to start with. And then I'm just going to do a little chain, okay, of even numbers. So 1, 2, get my fingers in the right way, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I do let's do 15. Right, so it's gonna be worked over 15, but you need to, on the first one, you need to add an extra. Okay, so it's actually going to be 16 because that becomes a turning chain. Okay, so we are going to, just like we did the other one, we're going to start with a chain of double crochet. So I'm going to ignore that first stitch because that becomes the first one and go into that second one from the hook, and we're going to do a double crochet in every stitch. So in every one of the chain, double crochet. Okay, like that, and all the way along. So talk to me please, ladies, otherwise this is very dull just watching me doing double crochets. Anybody there, Al? No?
Karen says, saw your dash hound, love it.
Yeah, that Susie put a dash hound in. It's lush, isn't it? Really, really lovely. So, any other questions there? Any comments?
Pat says it's sunny up in Abergavenny.
Ah, is it nice? Oh, yeah, got to enjoy that little bit. So it made me feel better this morning, just having that little bit of sunshine, seeing a bit of blue sky. Okay, there we go. So I've got my chain now with a double crochet in each one. Okay, I am then going to chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and then turn my work. Okay, so this time you are going to work into this very first stitch here. Okay, right at the base of that chain you're going to work into this stitch. So we are going to, the first bobble is always different to the other bobbles. It's very slightly different because of the chain and getting the height. So we're going to basically do some treble togethers. So I'm going to wrap my yarn, insert my hook and pull up, wrap and pull through like that, but don't finish, stop at that point. Wrap in the same stitch, pull up, wrap, go through those 2 there. So I've got 3 on my hook, and I'm going to do this 4 times like that. So I've got my chain there and I've done it 3 times so far. 1, 2, 3, and then wrap, and there's my 4. Okay, like that. So I've got 5 on my hook at the moment. I'm going to wrap and pull through all of them like that. Okay, in this next stitch here I'm going to do a double crochet. So I'm going to go straight down in, pull up, wrap and through those 2. Now this is actually the back of the work. This is the front of the work, the bobble. We're actually looking at the back at this point. Okay, so it should all push through like away from you. So into this next one. So that first one is slightly different because you've got the chain. All the other bobbles, we're going to repeat that treble together. So you end up with 6 on your hook. So we're going to wrap in the next stitch, pull up, wrap through 2, stop at that point, wrap in, pull up through 2, I've got 3 on my hook. I'm basically looking for 6 on my hook. Wrap in, pull up through 2, I've got 4 on my hook, wrap, pull up through 2, there's 5 on my hook, and this time it's going to be 6 on the hook. You only have 5 on the first one because of that chain. The rest of it is 6. Okay, when I've got 6 on my hook, I'm going to wrap and pull through all of them like that, and then I'm going to do a double crochet into this next one down. So do my double crochet like that, and again, hopefully you can see that that bobble is pushing out on the front. Okay, so I'm going to do that once more slowly. So wrap before Alex's hands fall asleep, pull through like that, wrap, pull through like that. So I've got 3, wrap, pull through 2, 4 on my hook, pull through 2, 5 on my hook, and once more pull through 6 on my hook, and then I'm going to wrap, pull through all 6, and then a double crochet into the next one. And can you see how it's curling? This first row will curl terribly, okay, but as the more rows you put on, the more it'll go flat. All right, so I'm going to let Al go around to the other side now, and I'm just going to finish off this row. So he's going to just whip round the other side because his arms are starting to fall off, trying to hold the camera that steady and all over my shoulder, because I'm just going to repeat that. Okay, so I'm going to wrap, go through. So talk to me please, ladies, while I get to the end of the row.
Jean says, I'm cutting out the door of the dragon pattern while watching.
Ah, fabulous. Oh, he's such a cute pattern. Really like him.
Carolyn says, you're doing it again, Sarah, saying my Alexa off.
Oh, sorry.
Apparently she didn't understand what you meant.
Oh, no. Maybe I've got one of those voices. Maybe my voice is a bit too robotic. It thinks it's asking questions. Sorry. I'll try not to say... I don't think I said the A word. Oh, why
You said my name.
Oh, when I said I'll call him Al instead of Alex. I'll say it quietly. There we go, doing my double crochet. So I'm just doing that same motion all the way along. Okay, so I'm doing the 6, you know, I want to end up with 6 in my hook, so I'm doing 5 treble togethers, which end up with 6 on your hook. So we're going to work all the way down. Any other questions there?
Linda says, hi both, just had my haircut.
Lindy Lou, finally had your haircut. Are you a happy bunny now? Hairdressers are back open now in Wales, and everybody's just like desperate to get their hair cut. There we go, nearly there. Let's get to the end of the row, and then I'll show you the second row, because again it's the same. It's like with the bead stitch, it's the same over and over. So nearly there. Probably should have done slightly less on the starting chain. You didn't need to see quite this many. There we go. Through all those, like that, down. Got one left to do. There we go. It's just a double crochet row, the second row, but I'll show you that in a second. So anybody else, please do have a chat to me, ladies. Otherwise, it's just me chattering on.
Jean says, lucky you, hairdressers aren't open in Scotland yet.
No, they've allowed hairdressers and barbers to open, but like appointment only, so that they can control the amount of people that go in and out and stuff. So yeah, we're not going to be open until looks like the 12th of April, which is a bit odd, I think, because they're allowing supermarkets next week. Here, this is in Wales. They're allowing supermarkets next week to start selling non-essential items again, but they won't let little shops open up where we could easily have like 1 in, 1 out, or 2 in, 2 out type thing. Much easier than large supermarkets. So yeah, it's all a bit odd. You're actually going to put the last bobble stitch right into the very, very last stitch. So on my very last stitch here, I'm going to put a whole bobble stitch, okay? So I'm just going to do that whole stitch into there, which does feel a bit odd that you're ending with a bobble, but that is right, okay? So there's my 4 and 5 and 6. There we go. And then pull through all of them like that. And then, so because you haven't got anything else to go into, that's the end of the bobble stitch, you want to just do a chain like that and give it a really good sort of push down, okay? And you can see that is your bobble stitches appearing, okay? So we're going to chain another one. So you do 1 chain there, but you're going to do another chain to get your height like that. And then we're going to turn it. And then hopefully if I turn this towards you, you can see. Can you see I've got like large V's here on the top of the bobble. If I just take that out a second, can you see like there's a large V there, and then there's a small one. And then there's a large V there, and then there's a small one all the way along. So it's like a large V over the bobble, and then a small one is the little double crochet in between. All you're going to do now is put a double crochet into each of those. So I'm going to go into the large one, do a double crochet, small one, double crochet, large one, like that, all the way along, and that's kind of your next setup row for your next row of bobbles. There we go, all the way along like this. Now, like I said, Bella Coco on YouTube has got 2 brilliant videos for this. And she's got like a proper little overhead camera that she wears on her head, I think, so you can see right exactly what she's doing. I'll put some links up on our page for them, okay? Her videos, because they are good. There we go, all the way along like that, just double crocheting into each one. Don't forget that last one on the end, like that. And then I would chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and then I'm away again for my row of bobbles. Okay, so you end up, you just do another row of bobbles, row of double crochets, another row of bobbles, row of double crochets, and you end up with something that looks a little bit like that. Okay, which is this really, really beautifully warm texture, because I mean it is quite thread heavy. There's a lot of thread in these bobbles, but if you look back on our YouTube, actually there will be, we did this stitch with with a graph, and you can actually draw pictures with it. I think we did a heart, but you can draw all sorts of pictures with bobble stitches, and you can write words and stuff. You can actually plan them out on a graph and everything and write words and things. So it's quite a versatile one. It's quite a nice one to have a little practice. You make amazing bobble hats as well, like proper bobble hats. Yeah, real thick beanies. So yeah, so that's it for today. A couple of little crochet stitches. Can't get my words out. Hopefully you'll have a little go. Remember, if you've done some crochet you've really been happy with, maybe pop that into the exhibition. It doesn't have to be wool, it can be crochet too. Okay, so whatever you fancy, do send us in those pictures. Any questions or comments there before we go, hun?
Karen says beautiful stitches, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mary says hairdressers aren't open in England either.
No, and you're not even allowed to sneak over the border. They're stopping people. So so yeah, mind you, I do need my hair cut, but I can't decide whether I'm going to just have a trim and grow it again, or whether I'm going to go back to short. I always think, I always go, oh, that's it, I'm going to go back to that really short bob thing, and then I get bored of that really quickly, grow it out, and then I get bored of that and have it cut short again. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I might let it grow out a little bit for the summer. So, anything else there?
Mary asks again, is the first bobble in every row different?
Yes. So the first bobble, I can show you that because I'm right on the first one. So the first bobble is, you're going to do your chain of 3, and then you're going to do 4 of those those trebles. So I'm going to wrap and go in and finish like that. Wrap in, go through 2, and you're only going to end up with 5 on your hook on the first bobble. Okay, so my first one is, I would finish there where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my hook, and that's because that chain is part of it, is bulkier. So on the first one of every row, because of the chain, you're just going to have 5 on your hook, and then do your double crochet to bring it forward. But then from then on, you'd end up with 6 on your hook. Okay, so you do that, you sit 5 times to end up with 6 on your hook. You do it 5 times because you obviously the stitch is your 6th one. Does that make sense? So that's my 4. I've got 5 on my hook, and there's my 6th. Okay, so it's only the first one that you end up with 5 on your hook. Everything else is you end up with 6 on your hook before you pull through everything. Okay, and there you go. And all that does, and you can see it doesn't look different, but it's because of the chain, because of the bulk of the chain. Okay, so any other questions there, Al?
Kate says, so lovely, cozy stitches, thank you both.
That's all right, my pleasure. My pleasure. Please do have a little go at them and have a little play around. So fab. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got lots to get ready for Thursday for Chanda. So yeah, still got so much to do. A little bit behind, to be honest. So I'm going to go and carry on with that, and I will be back tomorrow with block of the week, and then Sarah's here on Thursday. So yeah, have a lovely day. Hopefully there's some sunshine by you. Please do enjoy it. Go for a nice walk. I think it's beautiful out there today. Get some fresh air. Wake ourselves up. Feel like spring's come in, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.